Hello, ladies. Welcome.
Mute my.
All right. I'll let you guys kind of get set up a little bit and we'll get started. I'm going to post in our little group that we're all ready. We are live.
Is anybody listening to that playlist I posted from Spotify?
I haven't listened to it yet, but I love that you post those. I love them. I use them for my massage a lot of times.
This one, I'm just posting this one over and over at this point, and it's not one that I did, it's a Spotify one, but it's like, there's so many songs on it and they're all instrumental, so it's just so good.
Yes.
But yeah, they're really good. I found it on. Super nice to have in the background.
Need to pull it up. Okay. It's in the group, right? Yeah. Boom. Moonlight bumps. There it is. Okay, ladies, we are going to get started. Welcome, welcome. Can you believe it has been a month again already? Wow. We are 1 month fully, or 2 months fully into the year. Oh my gosh, we're at the end of February, not the end of January. I was like, wait a minute, no, we're 2 months into the year. It's flying by literally that fast. So I hope you guys are enjoying kind of getting in the routine of coming monthly. I know that's what Elika and Chris and I were just talking about before this, is just really getting into that routine and having something to look forward to every month, not only closing out the month, but starting the new as well. And so we've always just really kind of enjoyed getting together and celebrating all the stuff that we've accomplished, but then also setting our intentions for what's coming next. So as you're kind of working and setting your mind to get in the right mindset for tonight, just start thinking about, reflect back maybe on February, how it's been, what you accomplished, what you set out for yourself, and then maybe really start to sit down and think, okay, now what do I have for March? What's next? What's coming up? What can I reach for? What can I focus on? What can I begin to build to? Because that's how we continue moving forward, right? Even when sometimes life feels like it's pulling us back or keeping us down. But if we have those goals and those intentions and those positive messages that we can keep reaching for, I think that just keeps our heart in the right place, even when it's hard or we struggle. Okay, so I am going to do oracle cards while we're waiting for everybody to kind of jump on. I have been enjoying the way that we've been doing it, where I just kind of pull your card, I give you those couple little words, maybe a little extra to go off of, and then you journal or you think about what that means to you. And then afterwards, I'm going to tell you what your card means. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of go with who I saw jump on first, which was actually Bonnie's iPhone, which I think is my mama. I'm going to pull yours first, Mom. Okay, let's see. All right. My mom got the endurance card, which is number 43. And that literally just says, keep going, which I love. Mom, you need to just keep going. What does that mean to you in the moment of where you're at, maybe in your life, where you're at, maybe in the day or the year or the month? But whatever it is, endurance is going to be very important for you. Awesome. I like that one for you. Okay, so next, I believe I saw Amanda jump on after that. So I'm going to do yours next. Okay, Amanda, got yours. Ooh, this is a romance card. Divine sensuality, making love, and erotica. And it's number 22. That's for me later on, by the way, you guys. The numbers are for me. It's easier for me to find them after that. But how interesting, divine sensuality. time for you to kind of ponder on that, maybe see where you guys are at, and kind of we'll see what the meaning of it afterwards is. Okay, next I saw Alicia, so I'll do Alicia next. All right, Alicia. Ooh, okay. Number 29, Lumeria Returns, which is earthly spirituality, community, and ocean conservation. I'm really liking that middle word for you, the community. And Lumeria Returns is interesting. So actually the mermaid is pregnant. Not that necessarily that you are going to be pregnant, but it could possibly just be a rebirth. So maybe just a rebirth of where you're at in life or business. Wink, wink, just because I know you and where you're at in life. Is kind of where I would take that for yourself. So I like that for you. Okay, next I saw Christy jump on. So I'll go ahead and do yours next. All right, Christy. Ooh, what a good card to have on a full moon is Farewell to the Moon, number 17. But your little words to go off of are appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. And maybe even just be aware of them. You know, I know a lot for me, even just sometimes Kristen will remind me like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, or we're in line with Mars, and she'll just drop these like little lines, and I'm just like, oh, that explains it. Oh, that makes sense. Oh, yeah, that's right. And so for this one is maybe just being aware of the lunar cycles and the moon and stuff like that, because I think that the more that we're just aware of it too, you guys, the more you're going to start to understand why sometimes you just feel off, or sometimes you just feel you're like, why am I being so crazy? And that's literally when Kristen will be like, well, Mercury's in retrograde. And I'm like, oh, every time. Like, it never fails. Okay, next, I believe I saw Amy jump on next after that. So I'll pull Amy's next. Okay, Amy, I pulled the sisterhood card for you. It's actually got 3 little mermaids on there, and it's friendship, allies, compatible souls, loyalty, joy, and delight. Ooh, I love this card. It's such a good card. I always love pulling it when I'm on a big meeting with a bunch of girls, because to me that is sisterhood. Okay, so next I have Anna. Hey, lady, how are ya? All right. Let's see what we've got for you today. Okay. Ooh, the return of Aphrodite. Nice. Temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, and treating as sacred. Ayo, I like all that. I like the sound of that. That is exciting. Like thinking of treating yourself as sacred, or even just like creating that goddess energy and just feeling that energy and it kind of owning it. You know, that's what I really kind of think about when I get that card. When you would get that card, is just like owning and understanding that power that you have. Yep. Okay, I'm letting Nicole in, and then when she jumps in, I'm going to pull her card. And take this time to kind of journal. And also, if we have some extra time, we can also talk about them a little bit. Sometimes I have to go super fast, but if we don't have a ton of people on, we could actually go a little slower. Hey, Nicole. See you jumping on. I'm actually pulling cards right now. And Jennifer, hey, how are you? Good to see you guys. Perfect timing. I'm actually pulling cards, and I just got done pulling everybody. So if you're ready, I will go ahead and pull your guys's.
We're ready.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go Nicole first. Let's do yours. All right, Nicole. Ooh, that's so interesting. I pulled this one earlier, but you have Farewell to the Moon, which is appreciate and enjoy the lunar light and cycles. And I actually pulled this for Christy, but I was kind of explaining a little bit of just being aware sometimes of the lunar cycles, of when the full moon is, when the new moon is, and how it just kind of affects you and if it affects you. And that's kind of what I always like with that card. It's just how are the lunar, you know, phases, that's the word I'm looking for, lunar phases affecting you. That's what I would like. All right, Jennifer, I got you next. Let's see what we got. Woo, buddy. I pulled mine earlier. It was really good too. I got the Song of the Siren. Ooh, Jennifer, I pulled Time Out. Go to Time Out right now. And that is awareness, contemplation, solitude, and time alone. Interesting. Whether you need it, are getting too much of it, aren't getting enough, just kind of assess that. How does it make you feel? We'll see what it means afterwards. All right, ladies. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and pull yours just while we're hanging. And if we're waiting for anybody else, I'll just go ahead and pull yours.
Can if you want.
All right. Elika. Ooh, reflection for Elika is what you contemplate can actualize. I like that one. That's a good one too.
Like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so take this time, take a couple moments. I may even just kind of play the music maybe, or Elika, maybe you want to play the music. We can just let everybody kind of journal and really take a couple minutes to actually write down their intention. So if you have not wrote out your intentions yet for this session, I would definitely take this time, or maybe you like scribbled some, right? I know I've done that before, like, I do it really quick. Like, let's maybe take this extra time to like, okay, I have, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to really sit and think about what I want to write about. What can March bring me? What can what kind of energy do I want to bring into March? What do I want to let go of from February? What do I want to bring into the next stage? And yeah, I'm going to pull up that music. Let me do that. And then if anybody jumps on, yeah.
Yeah, if Kristen would be willing to maybe share some examples, because I know whenever she shares her intentions, it always inspires some in me. So I don't know, Kristen, if you're willing to do that just for a couple minutes to maybe help, kickstart some people and myself included.
Absolutely, I would love to. I just want to talk about the phases of the moon a little bit first, just so people can kind of understand. I know I'm sure people seen the back and forth between Lindsay and I of in our moon page on Facebook, and there are so many different resources for practices. So I just want to start there. So there's a million different things that people are going to tell you, oh, this phase should be for this, and this phase should be for this, and this phase should be for this. I want you guys to really remember that this is your practice. Part of it being a practice is that you get to choose to make it your own. There is not a resource Bible that says this is the way. This is not the Mandalorian. So you get to choose how you want to do things. I focus on letting things go because the full moon is at its peak. It's a time of death. Remember that we're going to go through a 28 phase moon cycle to get to the new moon, and that's rebirth. So I look at it in that terms of really letting go of the things that are not suiting me. So I've been struggling with my health. It sprang on me. I was doing really, really well. So a lot of me will be letting go of the negative seeds I've put in my head of the fact that I don't have control over some of the pieces of my life. And I need to remember that. That's okay. It's okay for me to not have control over the minuscule things. There are things that I can do to move forward, but I have to let go of the fact that I don't always get to pick. No matter what it is, I don't always get to pick. So I need to take those negative seeds that I've planted in my brain and replant positive ones, because they're rotting in there, and the rot is spreading, and it's going to make an infection. So my big focus this month is going to be letting go of those bad seeds in my brain, letting go of the negativity that I'm causing myself. It's my own accord I'm doing it to myself. I'm perpetuating a cycle of negativity, frustration, and illness in my own body. And even though those seeds may not be physically making me sick, mentally they are, because I'm choosing to let the negative rule the positive, and that's not healthy. So my big letting go is just going to be reminding myself that it's okay to be sick, and it's okay to stay positive while I'm sick. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be frustrated and not want to ask for help, and that it's okay to have hiccups in health. All of those things are so important for me to remember. I'm going to live with this disease my whole entire life. And if I can't get a grasp on that now, and it's already been 3 years, I'm going to continue to have inner turmoil with myself about it. So, in other aspects of your life, where can you work on those things? Letting go of the pieces that are really, what we call the shadow work of yourself is kind of the full moon. You really want to work with your shadow side, the darker aspects of your life. What do you really need to work on? I know I need to let go of self-doubting myself. Every single time I do a new moon, they say, oh, throw those away, don't forget about it. But my mind always brings it back up. So it's something I always need to write down and go, check it out. You haven't let this stuff go. You're still doubting yourself. It's poison. Every time it's like spraying toxic fog all around me. It stops me, it hinders me. So what are you doing to yourself mentally? Remember, you don't have control over anybody else. You can let go of other people's illnesses and do all of those things, but really focus on yourself, because rebirth is happening. So I'm going to leave you guys with that for a little bit until we start our practice. Please, if you have any questions, ask about them. If you're concerned with intention settings or what the full moon represents, please ask about those things. I'm definitely here to listen.
Kristen, what's the full moon this month?
It is the full snow moon.
The snow moon. That's what Jennifer and I were talking about, but I couldn't remember. And I thought I'm going to look it up and research it really quick. Yeah, not so much.
There's a few names for it. They also call it the worm moon. The worms are preparing for springtime. It's the main reason why. So a lot of the names, the full moon names come for, they don't actually stand for just the full moon. They cover the full month. So it's the full snow month, essentially, is what it is. It's not actually just for the full moon. And that is because it was based off of Native American, pagan, Viking calendars. That's how they were able to identify the seasons, by phases of the moon in that way. So they would name the month off something that was happening in the season. So like last month, we talked about the wolf moons and them howling and looking for food, and their communication skills and hibernation moving into we're in the cold months. So it is the snow moon because in February in the United States especially is when it is the coldest here.
I love learning that stuff. It makes so much sense that they would call, something by what they could visually see, like the moon and what was happening on Earth. The connection between Earth, moon, human was just so much more beautiful then, and I think we lose a lot of that. I even feel that just I was telling Kristen about just moving to the city, I'm just even not being connected to the island even as much as I was, not being connected to the water as much. Now I'm Central Florida. To me, it's living in the Midwest with sunshine. It really is. It's and which is amazing. It's got its perks too, it's got its back and forth. But it's interesting just how disconnected I feel a ton of people are from the world around them, the actual world, the earth, the dirt, the moon, the air, the everything. And just, that's what I love about these sessions. They always remind me to reconnect to that, check in, where are you at? Like, you need to continue forcing yourself to check in with that, because if not, I think we just naturally lose touch with it very easily going through the motions of life. And so, okay, so we've got about like a little over 5 minutes. So I'm going to put one of these songs on that are on the playlist. And so I want everybody to be journaling during this time. Maybe you're not journaling about your card, or maybe you're journaling about intentions or goals. But I think it's kind of cool. We actually get to fit this little session in. We've actually wanted to do this, but we've always run over on time. And so we've always wanted to actually build in a little mini journaling session. So we're going to get it right now. Okay. So take this time to journal, think, whatever works best for you. I'm going to play a song while I might have to screen share for it to be like best quality. Oh, let me see if it'll, sorry guys. Oh, it's not saved. My Spotify isn't saved on my computer. It's not letting me log into it. Well, I gotta figure out what my password is. Or here, maybe I can look up one of the songs. Trying to get my volume to work, guys. I'm sorry. It's so weird.
It's okay. Maybe that just means you need to actually sit with yourself.
Yep. Okay, go ahead and begin kind of wrapping up, just a few more minutes. If you feel like you have nothing to write, just start putting your pen to paper and just write some thoughts. Okay. My journaling is all over the place today. I had so many thoughts come in and I just started jotting things down. And actually, I'm really glad that you shared first, Kristen. I like that you said that, Elika, because it really did kind of give me something to go off of, and then it kind of just gave me something to start thinking about. And then I just kind of allowed my thoughts to kind of take it wherever it wanted to go. But it was nice to have that pinpoint because I just wrote down like what's in my control and the shadow side. And I just kind of wrote those two things down and I was like, how can I work off of that for me? What if I was, those are your things, but from my perspective, like how can I look at that? And so I really appreciated that. Thank you very much for giving us those little tips because that kind of led the whole intentions of my journaling here. So I appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, Kristen knows what she's talking about. I always like to refer to her.
Yeah.
I actually focused a lot on letting go of the agreements that we make. Some of us are reading the 4 agreements. You mentioned book clubs, and I found myself really kind of like always coming back to that thought and resonating with that. So I was the same way. My journaling was kind of all over the place, and it was nice to have an opportunity to do it today instead of scribbling everybody's names down and cards. So it's good. Yeah.
I agree. Because I'm either, I try to set my own, but it's either like before or after. And so sometimes it's fun to actually just be in it with everybody, journaling all at the same time.
When you and me and Kristen meet for the 20 or 30 minutes beforehand, we could set 3 minutes aside and do our intentions together then.
We should.
We can make sure to get it done. We're learning. We're getting there.
All right, guys. So I'm going to kind of set these up so I can see them or maybe just glance at them or just be able to read them. Or I know Kristen kind of burns hers, so you're more than welcome to kind of do that now or do that later, whatever works for you. That's the thing, guys. We're the guides, but this is also your own personal practice at home. That's kind of the best thing about it being virtually is that it's not like we all have to show up at the same place doing the same thing. It's like it's your rendition of how you want to experience this. And that's just really kind of the cool little unique part about it is that my setup looks nothing like your guys' setup and it's all unique to us. And I love that even just when I get out my little trinkets and sometimes it's the same stuff and sometimes I use different stuff too. It just kind of depends how I feel this month or sometimes I bring all the things. Sometimes I'm like, I just want to keep it really simple. Sometimes I put more thoughts into my intention. Sometimes I put more thought into the setup. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling. And I love the fact that there's no wrong answer, like whatever you need is what you can set up. And so each time can be different. So even sometimes you may bring different energy. We were talking about that, just the different energies with the full moons and how some moons can bring that burst of energy and where we can bring a ton of energy to the meeting. And then some meetings are more relaxed, and we were talking about that euphoric feeling and just maybe that meditative state, that sedative state, and so I was like, man, I feel that energy tonight. I feel that real low, chill kind of energy tonight, rather than that boisterous, real vibrant kind of energy. And so I'm really excited to do the meditation and yoga and just really turn inward again and assess where I am at, assess where my body has been, assess the stress that I have recently acquired. And I know a lot of you guys as well. I know a lot of us have been going through tough times. Just looking at some of the faces that I know on here, and I think that this is the exact place we're supposed to be right now. Just enjoying each other's company, not worrying about all of the crazy things we have out in the world, and we can just come right here and be present and focus here. And all of those worries will probably still be there when we're done, but let's just wash those away for right now. Be present where we are, enjoy, assess your body, give back to your body, take this opportunity to give yourself a little bit of love, a little bit of grace, a little bit of gratefulness, and just be open also to the different energy. Sometimes the different moons are going to bring you as well. So I am going to pass it to Elika. I believe you were doing, or I'm sorry, Kristen, I'm sorry, that's my bad. Kristen is going to be doing our full moon information and session, and then she's going to pass it to Elika. We're going to do our meditation and yoga following that.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you guys all so much for sharing this experience with me and coming again. We really appreciate you guys being here. It means a lot to me and to the other ladies. I'm actually going to start a little bit different this time. I have several books on the moon, moonology, etc. And so some of the things that I don't talk about often are, where the moon is at and why. So when we look at the moon, it's in lunation in different parts. So it's phases, it's considered lunation. However, we are in a void moon. So it's actually not in a line with any of the planets currently. So in part of that, it also means that until it moves into the next zodiac, more often than not, the things that we're looking for aren't coming to fruition because it's not in line with a planet that can bear. So when it's not, it cannot bear fruit. It's kind of like missing the water to something. So that is the other reason why times like these can feel and or seem more chaotic. Looking into your love life, looking into, the moon being in different parts is very different. So we have to pay attention to those things also. And it makes a huge difference with all of that stuff. Moving in, if you want to go down the rabbit hole, So thinking of freedom, positivity, culmination, and order in your life are super important. I want to talk about the letting go of the pieces in our life that do not suit us. It's so important every time we do a full moon, whether you're here or not, to just think about it, things you need to let go. Remember that lunation is phases. So as we are in different phases in our life, so is the moon. It's ever changing. She is ever changing. We are ever changing. We are always going to connect in that way, no matter where your belief system is, lies. Science says she's moving, and so are we. And that's just reality. So remember that when you're setting expectations for yourself, change is normal, change is positive, change is good. There's always a cycle of rebirth. And we are moving into that cycle of rebirth. We are moving in transition. Spring equinox is coming. Life, rebirth, growth is coming. I know I do not live in a cold state, but I know that there are several of you are. And I know the toll it takes on your body, your mind, your spirit, your energy, your being. Even when it's cold here, and I know Jenny knows, it's not as cold as it's everywhere else, but it has been a cold year for us. And it has taken a toll on me, not being able to be outside and absorb as much vitamin D as I usually do, not being able to have my feet in the ground and in the water and in the sand as much, like she was talking about being grounded. Her moving away from the island is a huge change. You're not one with an island itself. Your feet were in the sand daily. It's a huge change. So remember where you're putting your feet. Is it cold outside? Are you looking at the snow negatively? Maybe you need to take your shoes off and freeze those little tootsies for a second just to feel the earth beneath you. Shock your system. Hey, it's here. How do I move through it? Your feet are going to warm up when you go back inside. And what is your feet going to do to that snow? It's going to melt it. It's going to grow. It's going to go back. It's going to snow again. It's going to happen. So rebirth and transition. Just remember that you get to move forward regardless of what season you're in your life, what season it is in, what lunation the moon's in. You will move forward. You have to keep going. So the other thing I want to talk about is, as we're closing February and we are moving into warm, more comforting times, spring equinox brings growth and rebirth. Are you in the mindset to be accepting of those things in your life? Because we can sit in inner turmoil for a long time when we get stuck in the cold months and depression or not being able to do things. COVID sets everything back even more with it being cold. So I can only imagine when you can only do indoor things, those are taken from you. So where are you at in your mind and in your intentions of letting things go? Are you letting go of the things that you really need to let go of? Or, yes, the small things are important, but did you dig deep into your shadow side and pull something out of your armpit that has been lumped there for 10 years finally and needs to be addressed? Are you staring it down in your face and looking at it and going, I'm done with you because I need to move forward? I've had a mole on my body for like 10 years. I want them to burn it off. That's why I said that. There's two right here. But besides the point, seriously, sometimes we need to get rid of those things that are internal. They are succubuses of your being, of your inner health, your outer health, your physical, mental image of yourself. Doesn't matter what other people see and or think. Where are you at for you? Are you really, really ready to accept rebirth? Are you ready to be the phoenix? You're literally coming out of snow to rise into growth, growing plants, growing flowers, growing food. Things are changing for you. Are you ready to accept those things that are changing? So while that's happening, we talk about, it's just like the animals, we're moving out of hibernation. When that is, if we go back and think about before technology we were working with, and I talked about this a little bit last time, we are moving out of what people hundreds of years ago would have been living inside. The technology, are you stepping away from it? Are you making time for yourself? Are you making time for quiet in your brain, in your life, in your, are you finding a minute? Is it 10 minutes in the bathroom where you're hiding? I don't care. I hide in the bathroom all the time. It's my safe spot. I'm a mom, it happens. But seriously, you have to be able to find time for you, to find growth in you, to also be reborn. Are you asking for what you need? There are so many times that we don't take the time to ask for what we need. If plants don't get watered, do they grow? Nope, they don't. So if you have to ask for what you need to blossom, don't forget to do that. Don't forget that it's okay. Everything, there's a circle of life and everything needs help in rebirth. Everything needs help in the phases of its life. It's okay to be accepting of it. I had to remind myself that when one of my friends was like, oh, well, do you want me to pick up Annie's stuff because we're work? Like, no, we'll figure it out. No, Teddy needs to work. Who knows how long I'm going to be out? Yes, I do. Thank you for asking. It was not a fun thing to do. I don't like doing it, but it was my life. I need to make sure that he could function when I can't. So are you prepared to ask for help? Are you prepared for that rebirth? And I'm going to go ahead and move into the intentions that I've wrote out today. And bear with me because I didn't have a tube in my throat for three days. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So I just want you guys to take some time, maybe even close your eyes. And I'm going to say things really slowly this time. And I really want you to kind of, if you're in a place where you can say them externally, say them externally. And if you're not, say them internally and just for yourself, that's okay too. But I'm going to read them out slowly because I think they're really important. I know I've been repetitive tonight, but there's so many times we need to hear things for the 100th time. And I'm here to tell you it for the 100th time. And I'm okay with doing it another 100 times. So I'm going to start here. And like I said, just take that time. I know it it sounds funny coming out of your mouth sometimes out loud, but sometimes that's what you need. You need to hear yourself say things. So I want you to try it if you're able to. As we look to the full moon, we take you in. We take in your lunar glow, your rays of light traveling into our core being, enlightening each chakra, preparing us for rebirth and growth within. Your divine light gives us strength, energy, and lasting love. As we embrace your illuminating light, we let your feminine energy guide us to the next phase of our ever-changing life. Like you, we are in a full phase. I take thee in. I feel full, and I will let go of the pieces that are filling me negatively. I will choose to be prepared for rebirth, for loving myself, to provide for myself and others. I take in your energy. I take in your glow. I take in your love. I want you guys to feel it in your body. Feel the strength surging through your beings. Let it hit your chakras. Let it hit the points in your body that are sore and in pain. Feel them through your toes. Feel her power through your fingertips. Maybe move your body around. Put your hands up. Can you feel the energy pulsing through you? Can you close your eyes and see lights lighting up around you? Can you feel it? Feel it. Embrace it. Take it in like a warm hug. And remember that warmth will be guiding you into blooming and blossoming into your next journey. Just wanted to thank the moon tonight for giving us the opportunity to even do this, for having the power to be out, whether we can see you or feel you or we're under you or not. The guidance that we're able to get, the peace, the sisterhood that we have. So important to move forward. And we're blessed every day to get to do it together. Just want to thank you ladies so much for taking this time to help let me guide you through this. And I'm going to go ahead and pass it on to Ilika so that way we can sit in meditation and yoga. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me.
That was really lovely, Kristen. Thank you. It was great. All right. Okay, so thank you all for joining us. I know we've thanked you 1,000 times, so it's always so great to see everybody. Like Kristen had mentioned, this full moon is really focused on kind of that rebirth, that time of growth and transition. So our yoga practice tonight is really going to be focused on a lot of slow transitions. We're taking it slow because it's still, hibernation season. It's the snow full moon. So, people are usually kind of like in and chill, but we're, beginning to, well, there's always transition in life, regardless of the time of year, but just beginning to find, that momentum for transition again into the spring. So we're actually going to start today's practice on our backs for a nice pranayama. So get comfortable. If you want to grab a blanket, to cover up with, or for a pillow, or grab a pillow for your head, like whatever, take 30 seconds to do that, just to get comfy. And you're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time, slow and steady, just to find a good, comfortable position. And if it feels better for you to have your knees bent, you can have your knees bent. If it feels better to have your legs extended out, you can do that too. That's fine. You're going to have your right hand on your belly button. Palm will be extended out long, fingers will be spread, and your left hand will be up on your sternum, kind of chest area. Make sure your arms are relaxed on the floor. So if they're kind of not directly on your center, that's okay. So we're just kind of settling in now, getting comfortable, making any adjustments we need. And just beginning to settle into our breath. So noticing our natural breath rhythm, connecting with that, really just allowing ourselves, our minds, our bodies to rest and calm, dial in. Not trying to manipulate our breath yet, but really just checking in. Feel in your hands where your body is moving. Maybe your right hand isn't moving at all. Maybe your left hand is barely moving. Maybe you're just breathing into your chest. Just noticing for a minute. On your next inhale, go ahead and take a big, giant, juicy inhale. Biggest one you've taken all day, growing your belly deep. And exhale, pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Inhaling, gently growing your right hand. Exhale, slow and steady, squeezing all the air out. So bringing lots of nice fresh oxygen in. And on the exhales, make sure you're squeezing out. We're not clenching, so we're not like, killing ourselves. But we're just making sure that we're getting all of the oxygen out that we can, so we can get all the new oxygen in that we can. If it feels good for you to count, inhales and exhales, you can do that. We're really just focusing on getting that deep, deep belly moving right now. On your next inhale, we're really going to focus on our midsection, our soft solar plexus area. So maybe where your right thumb is and your left pinky. So underneath your rib cage, just really growing this section now on our inhales and exhales. So it might take you a couple to get used to. It's just a different breathing pattern. It's okay. Maybe you're just slightly feeling your hand move. Doesn't need to be moving inches up and down. Just feel the skin underneath it stretching and growing on each inhale. The ribs falling on each exhale. A few more breath cycles here. Connecting with this middle belly breath, this middle section here. Maybe you feel your heartbeat. On our next inhale, we're really just going to focus on super shallow breaths into our collarbones, lifting our chest, and exhale, releasing. Inhale, growing. Maybe our shoulders fall to the mat a little more. Exhale, releasing. Focusing on really feeling the sensation in the throat now, in this clavicle area. This is how we breathe a lot of the time, very shallow breaths. So doing this just with a little more intention than we normally do. Really feeling the sensation in the throat. What's it like? Is it cold? Is it tingly? Is it a little wet? We're going to begin to connect these breaths. So on your next inhale, go ahead and pull that deep breath into your belly, and then into your rib cage, and finally filling your chest. And exhale from your chest, from your ribs, and finally pulling your belly button in. Inhale, growing your right hand, belly expands, rib cage lifts, throat, and breathe into the throat, and exhale. Flows out as easily as it flowed in. Inhaling deep, filling the entire body, the entire torso with air, and exhaling the entire torso from air. allowing this really gentle, relaxing, deep flowing breath practice to keep our mind anchored here on our mat and remembering this nice, relaxing feel and flow during our posture practice here in just a couple minutes. Really setting the tone for our time together. Do 2 more breaths here like this. Nice flowing in like a wave, filling the belly, lifting the ribs. Exhaling, rolling out. You can release that breath practice. If your knees aren't bent and your feet are not flat on the floor, go ahead and do that. So if your legs are extended out long, we're going to go ahead and bend your knees, have your feet flat. On your next exhale, we're going to begin our movement and just gently bring your left knee in towards your chest, maybe even out towards your armpit. Inhale, allow the foot to fall. Exhale, bring your right knee in towards your chest. Inhale, place the foot down. Exhale, left knee in. Inhale, release. You guessed it. Exhale, right knee in. We're going to do this for a couple more now. So just finding some nice flowing transitional movement with the breath. Inhaling and exhaling at your own breath right now, whatever feels good to you, but still keeping it nice and slow, alternating left and right here. Good. On your next exhale, we're going to bring both knees in, okay? So exhale, right and left knee come in, maybe out towards the armpits are more comfortable for your hips. Inhale, plant feet. Exhale, knees in. Maybe it's a little more comfortable for your hips to bring them in towards the chest. That is pretty tight on my hips, so it's more comfortable for me to move them out towards my armpits. Exhaling, squeezing them in. Inhaling, feet plant. Good. On your next inhale, leave your feet planted. Good. We're going to exhale. Go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left quadricep. Good. Take your right hand, bring it to your right knee. Have your right foot flexed. It doesn't have to be like super hyper flexed right now, it's kind of low key. You definitely want to have some tension and awareness in it because it just helps protect the knee a little bit. So you don't want to hang in there just loosey-goosey. But go ahead and push into your right knee just a little bit to awaken the right glute. A nice little stretch there. Good. Take a big inhale. On an exhale, you're going to lift the left foot up, thread the needle, right hand through, meets on the back of the left thigh. Inhale, plant the left foot back down. Exhale, lift the left foot, thread the right hand through. They can clasp behind the left thigh if that feels good. Inhale, release. Exhale. Foot lifts. Inhale, release. We're going to do one more on the side, then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Good. Should be super nice glute opener. Let's go ahead and plant your right foot. You can cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Go ahead and have a little bit of tension awareness in your left foot. Bring your left hand to your left, knee directly, maybe a little below the knee, more on the femur. Just get a little bit of push, tension, and awareness there. Good. Take a big inhale. And on your next exhale, go ahead and lift the right foot. You can thread the left hand through, and maybe it clasps the right hand behind the right thigh. Inhale, place the right foot down. Exhale, lift the right foot. Get that nice stretch in the side glute. Couple more here. Closing your eyes. I didn't mention that. Always close your eyes in this yoga practice and any yoga practice when it feels comfortable and good for you. Good. Let's do one more. And exhale. Good. From here, we are going to gently just make our way back up. So go ahead and roll onto your right side. You can plant your left hand and push yourself up gently. Head is the last thing to come up. We will come to that cross ankle position if that feels good for you. Or if it feels better to have your legs extended out long, you can do that. Either way, we're all gonna have our legs extended out long here in just a hot minute. All right. From here, we're just gonna go ahead and begin to awaken our neck a little bit. Go ahead and on an exhale, bring the right ear to the right shoulder. Inhale the gaze back to neutral, and exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Inhale back to neutral. Exhale, one more time on each side. Inhale, exhale, left ear to left shoulder. This time, inhale, bring the back of the head to the upper back body. Roll it nicely, right ear to right shoulder. Exhale, you're gonna roll your chin to your chest and bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Good. Inhale, gently opening the chin, the throat, the gaze up to the ceiling. Exhale, rolling the chin over to the left. Good. Take one resting inhale here. So chill with your left ear towards your left shoulder. Inhale. And we're going to exhale the other direction. Bring your right ear towards your right shoulder, chin to chest. Inhale, back of the head to the upper back body. Let's do two more of these in this direction. Slow and steady, should feel super nice. My shoulders are always really tight. One more in this direction now. So this neck roll always feels really good, especially first thing in the morning. Beautiful. Come back to neutral. On an inhale, go ahead and bring your hands to T. We're gonna open our chest back a little bit. So go ahead and start to push your chest out, round your back. Your hands will come back in behind you a little bit. So this is a cow variation, excuse me. So we're gazing up to that beautiful moon. And on an exhale, we're gonna round our back, and we're actually going to cross our wrists in the front, flip our palms towards each other, and then push our palms in and together. Allow our head to come between our upper arms, rounded back here. Good. Let's inhale, we're gonna do that again. Inhale, open your chest, gaze up to the ceiling, hands can come back and behind you. Exhale, round your back, cross your hands, flip them to face each other. They're gonna push in and together to help open up the shoulders even more. Inhale, open to a T, opening your chest, gazing up. Exhale, rounding your back, crossing, flipping. Good. Let's do one more of these. This is a nice cat-cow variation. Inhale, gaze up. Exhale, round your back, cross, and push. Good. Inhale, back up to T. Bring our hands up and overhead. And on an exhale, we're just gonna come fold forward. So we're really not reaching out in front of us at all. We're really just allowing our vertebrae to kind of fold on top of each other, really focusing on kind of turning inward here. So we definitely don't want our glutes peeled off of the mat at all. We want to have a nice rooted and grounded back body. Stay here for just a couple breath cycles. Good. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Good, let's do one more of those. Inhale up. And exhale, fold. Good. Inhale yourself back up, super slow and steady. We're gonna go ahead and extend our legs out long in a V. So they won't be together, they will be extended to whatever position feels good, as wide as it feels good for you, whatever feels good in your body. So get nice and comfy. Check in with our feet. Typically, we would want, our toes pointed up to the sky, knees pointed up to the sky. But again, since we're kind of in chill mode, we can let them hang loose a little bit, or we just want to make sure we're not like totally lax in our posture. So just make sure that we have a nice alignment. Hips, knees, toes, all in a nice line. Let's have our hands on our knees. We can take a big inhale just to straighten the spine. On an exhale, gently allow your hands to just slide down to wherever it feels good. Hinge at your hips. Maybe your hands stay at your knees, on your shins. Maybe they come all the way down to your feet, whatever feels good for you. Big inhale. Maybe you're able to just journey a little further down on the exhale. But again, we're really not reaching and extending here. We're really focusing more on kind of turning inward. Good. We're gonna find a really nice little flow here. So take a big inhale, and on your next exhale, bring your right hand to your left wrist. Inhale, extend your right hand up to the ceiling, bring your body up to T. Exhale, plant your right hand behind you. Inhale, your left hand up and overhead, extends behind, gazing up at your left elbow. Inhale your hands back to T. We're gonna exhale, plant your left hand, right hand follows. Inhale, right hand back to right ankle. Exhale, left hand to left ankle, to right ankle. Inhale, up to T, left hand leads. Exhale, plant your left hand behind your left hip. Right hand extends back and behind. Inhale, up to T. Exhale, right hand to right ankle, left hand follows. Get a nice stretch in the side body while you're down here. Inhale, bring the left hand to the left ankle. We're gonna do this again. Exhale, right hand to left hand. Inhale, left hand leads, bringing it up to T. Exhale, plant the right hand behind you. Left hand extends up and over, bring a nice stretch to the left side body. Inhale, extend to T. Exhale, plant your left hand, right hand follows. Inhale, wave your right hand, left hand follows. Inhale, up to T. Exhale, left hand plants back and behind. Right hand extend back to opposite side. Inhale to T. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale to T. We're gonna do one more on each side now, but have it really fluid and nice transitional, not have those kind of inhale and exhale stops. So we have an exhale here. Inhale up to T, just flowing right back down to an exhale. Right back up to an inhale when I've found the bottom of that exhale. Exhaling all the way down, right hand comes down. Inhale, right hand to right ankle, left hand follows. Inhale up to T. Exhale, planting the left hand behind. Right hand comes. Inhale to T. Exhale, plant the right hand, left hand follows. Inhale to T. Beautiful. We're going to stay here in this forward fold position for just a minute. Good. Inhale, gently just walk yourself back up. Bring your legs in and together. From here, we're just going to have a nice little flow in the upper body. We're going to continue to do some upper body work. So again, same thing with our legs together. Typically, we would have them kind of like attention and focus, but since we're having a little more relaxed and low key practice, we want to make sure our alignment's good. That we're not like just hanging out loosey-goosey here, but that we have some awareness in our posture. Good. Have our hands on our thighs. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to, on an exhale, just kind of gently roll in. Hands will slide out long. And we'll stay here for just a minute. Maybe on the exhales, you're able to kind of grow the crown of your head closer to the ground. Maybe not. On your next inhale, gently stack one vertebrae at a time. Lift, hands come behind your back. Put your hands on your sacrum if that feels good. Sacrum or upper back if that feels good. Pull the elbows back, gentle back bend, gaze up to the sky. We'll stay here for just a couple breath cycles. Again, closing your eyes if that feels good for you. And then we're going to flow between these two. This should feel super nice in the clavicle, shoulder, chest area. On an exhale, gently release that. Round your back, hands come to the thighs. Slide down to the knees, calves, wherever feels good. Inhale yourself back up, stacking one vertebrae at a time, bringing the hands behind the back, elbows kind of pinching in and together, but space between your ears and shoulders. Exhale, round your back. Hands slide out. Inhale, stacking one vertebrae, gently opening and receiving all of that beautiful moon energy. Exhale. Let's do one more of those. Inhale up. Good. And exhale, go ahead and release. Beautiful. I think we'll get done a little bit early tonight. That's okay. All right, for this one, let's bend our knees. So we're not going to bring our knees in super close like we would maybe for like bow pose or something. We'll have them walked out just a little bit further. Maybe your feet don't plant all the way. Maybe your toes are up a little bit. That's fine. Try to not be rolling out onto your pinky toes. Try to have, awareness in the big toe pads of your feet if you can. For this one, we're going to inhale, open our chest up again, grab that big beautiful moon that we are here to appreciate between our hands. And on an exhale, I want you to gently pull her love and light into your heart. Round your back. Good. Inhale up. This time we're going to twist open to the right, okay? Exhale, bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Inhale, twist up and look at that big beautiful moon. Exhale, twist open to the left. Right hand comes to the outside of the left. Inhale, gaze up. We're going to grab our rear back down into the chest, back round. Inhale, up, twist open to the right again. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Maybe you gaze back at the right hand if that feels good. Inhale up, grabbing the beautiful moon. Exhale, twist open to the left. Gazing back towards the left finger. Inhale up. Let's do one more round. Exhale, rounding the back, bringing the love, light, and energy into your chest. Inhale up. And extend, exhale, twisting open to your right side. Inhale up. Exhale, twist open. Good. We're going to inhale back up. And on an exhale, just go ahead and bring our hands to heart center. Beautiful. From here, we're going to make our way back down to flat back. So if you want to grab that blanket or pillow that you had, feel free to do that. We do have a couple more asanas, postures, movements to do before we go to our next meditation. So don't settle in too comfy yet, but definitely grab anything you need that you're going to need to be comfortable for our meditation and Savasana at the end, okay? All right, so to begin, we're gonna have our knees bent, feet flat on the floor, as you see here. Hands are going to be flat, palms wide, flat on the floor, probably beside your hips. We're gonna inhale and bridge. So on an inhale, gently lift your hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, release. Good. Now I want you to bring the soles of your feet together. So your knees are gonna splay out wide. Yes. And on your next, hands can again be spread like starfish on the ground by your hips. On your next inhale, you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna lift your hips towards the ceiling. Be careful. This really awakens my hips a lot. It's like, ow. So just lift really slightly. Inhale, gently lifting up. It's a different kind of sensation, a different kind of bridge. Exhale, release. Plant your feet flat back on the floor. Good. Inhale, lift up, more traditional bridge, really pushing into your heels. Knees squeezing in together. Exhale, release. We're gonna inhale, bring the soles of the feet back together. Inhale, lift the hips. Knees are wide, super gentle. Watch, really feel what's happening in your hips. Exhale, release, and plant your feet. So we're gonna flow here, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, bridge. Have a nice space between your chin and your chest here. Don't squish down in your chin. You're exhaling, releasing, moving your feet. Inhale, frog bridge, pushing into the pinky edge sides of the toes and the feet. On the exhales, transitioning the feet, inhaling. Checking in with our hands. Mine were not connected to the ground at all. They should be aware and connected to the ground a little bit. So we have rooting and grounding down through our hands, our fingertips, our forearms, even. Good. Just a little flow. Let's do a couple more wherever you're at. Good. On your next exhale, go ahead and leave your feet planted. Heel toe your feet out a little bit wider than hip width apart, so probably about as wide as your mat. On an exhale, go ahead and allow your knees to fall over to the left gently. Maybe the gaze goes over the right shoulder if that feels good. Inhale your knees back up to neutral. Exhale your knees over to the right. Maybe your gaze goes over the left shoulder. Inhale back up to neutral. Gaze goes to neutral if you're moving with your knees. Exhale your knees over to the left. Inhale back up to neutral. Exhale over to the right. Let's do one more on each side, and then we're going to come to Savasana. Well, another meditation. And stop. Beautiful. Good. On your next inhale, go ahead and leave your knees up where they are at. If it feels good for you to allow them to kind of collapse in and together to rest on each other, you can do that. If it feels better for you to extend them out long, you can do that, whatever feels good for you. Hands can be either on your belly, on the ground, face up if that feels good, whatever feels nice. Take the next 20 seconds, 30 seconds to get situated and complete. Relaxed, laying down. Beginning to focus in on our breath again. And really begin to feel that breath in your body. And repeat to yourself, I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. With each inhale and exhale, just really connecting with that breath, with that sensation. I know I'm breathing in. I know I'm breathing out. Not controlling the breath at all. Allowing whatever is naturally happening to naturally happen. If it feels good to breathe a little deeper, do that. Settling in. Remembering our time together, focusing on releasing and letting go. Choosing to focus our meditation on cultivating positivity to help foster that release. So I want you to think of something you wrote down, maybe that you want to let go, that has served you already, its purpose is been fulfilled in your life. Maybe you took the opportunity to write it down, maybe you didn't. Maybe it's fear or worry or laziness or doubt. I want you to identify the opposite trait or characteristic of that. So if your biggest release today was releasing your self-doubt, maybe you are going to cultivate self-love, self-confidence, self-assurance. If it was releasing worry, maybe you are cultivating trust. If it was releasing anger or sadness, maybe you are cultivating joy, light, happiness. So focus on what positivity you are bringing into your life with this release that you are doing tonight. And once you have that, once that feels good to you, resonates with you, makes sense to you, for the next couple minutes together with your breath practice, I want you to repeat, breathing in, I am positivity. Breathing out, I am positivity. Breathing in, I am confidence. Breathing out, I am confidence, or whatever characteristic or trait you are embodying and replacing with this letting go that you are doing on this full moon with us tonight. Breathing in, I am joy. Breathing out, I am joy. And allowing yourself to just be here in this moment to do this for another minute or two to help support your energetic release of the things that don't need to be with you any longer, that maybe you're holding on to for some reason. Maybe you don't even know you're holding on to them. But allowing yourself to cultivate this positive thought and intent in your life. Breathing in, I am. Breathing out, I am. I always like to give the reminder to maybe curl the corners of your mouth up and smile a little. Give yourself some appreciation for joining us tonight and spending some time on yourself with us, connecting. For our last minute together, you can continue to hold on to this breath practice if that feels good to you. If it feels better to release this and focus more on the muscle relaxation, releasing tension sitting in the body. If you feel like that would benefit you more for the last minute or so together, feel free to do that. We always encourage you to do this as your practice. You need to do what's going to serve you best. We're here to give you tools and ideas and a safe space to do it. So. If you're releasing and relaxing your body, just gently, gradually checking in, moving your way up, toes to nose. Maybe you're still reciting, breathing in, I am. Maybe this is resonating with you. Wherever you're at, take 3 more breaths, 3 more breath practices. Nice, juicy inhales and exhales. And go ahead and release whatever focus you have, whatever practice you are carrying. Just allow stillness for a breath cycle or 2. Gently beginning to deepen your inhales and exhales. Bring movement back to your toes and fingers. Gently awakening your hands and your feet. Wrists, ankles, arms, legs all begin to gently and slowly find movement. And eventually you roll onto your right side. Spend a few breath cycles there. Maybe make a little pillow with your hands. That feels good. Eventually you can push yourself up to that seated position. Slowly and steadily, head is the last thing to come up. Make any adjustments you need to. Once you are all situated, bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. Close the practice together. Share a quote from one of my all-time favorites, Mr. Rogers. Transitions are almost always signs of growth, but they can bring feelings of loss. To get somewhere new, we may have to leave somewhere else behind. We'll close the practice by taking 3 inhalations through the nose and open mouth exhalations together, beginning now. Thank you, ladies, so much for coming to practice with me tonight. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. That's awesome. That was a really great practice for me. I hope it was great.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I feel so lifted and calm, but also energized. It's a different sensation. I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. It was really fun putting this one together. It was, yeah, it was fun to do a low-key transitional practice, you know, like find the flow, the low-key flow. So it was good. It was super fun. I hope you guys all enjoyed it.
I fell asleep at the end. Actually, when you tinged your little things, my dog just came over and laid beside me, and we both jumped. Like I was like, I go, oh my God, we're in the meeting. Like I was like, I was way like out of this world is like the only way I can explain it. I just felt like I was just like your voice was, it was, I mean, I've been through a lot of your meditations and I love every single one of them, but this was my favorite today. I don't know what it was about it. It just like I was like like coming in and out of, like, I was listening to you the whole time, but I was like zoned out. I mean, that was good. I needed that too.
That's what I was just telling Jennifer. It was so weird. It was just like, it was so relaxing to where I wasn't asleep, but I was so relaxed. And Jennifer goes, I thought for a moment you were asleep. I'm like, I don't think so. I was just so relaxed. Because I heard Elika like the whole time. So, but yeah, I was just like, that was amazing, Elika.
Oh, good. Oh, thank you. Good. I'm glad you liked it.
I think even my dog was snoring beside, like she was out. She was for sure out. And she like had her head like just right on my chest by the time I just laid there, and we were just like, it was so nice. I feel like I'm just like,
Good.
Refreshing is the first word that comes to my mind.
yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Thank you so much, Elika. I needed that. Thank you, Kristen, for all the intentions. Thank you, ladies, for coming on a Saturday evening and continuing to keep this as a habit for yourself. I know it's not always easy, creating that habit, but I know we all feel better when we do, sometimes you're like, oh, should I go? Should I not? But I'm telling you what, every single time I do it, I feel so amazing. And it's just like anything else, like in the beginning, you question it, but if you can just focus on that end feeling that you're going to have, like that's what's going to pull you here every single time. Just remember this feeling,
Like a workout.
Yeah.
It's like you never want to push play on your workout, but yeah, exactly.
But you're gonna get rewarded, like at the end, like you're gonna have that energy, you're gonna have that euphoric feeling, and if you could just get there. But it pulls you through. So thank you, ladies, so much for coming. I appreciate it. I hope that this sets the benchmark for March really high for you. And I hope that February can just be wiped clean, regardless of whether it was the best or the worst or nonchalant, however you felt about it. It's gone, right? We're moving forward, we're focusing forward. So let that stuff go, let go whatever happened. Burn it up. I love that Kristen taught us that. Like, just burn it up, man. Get rid of it, write it down, and just be done with it and move on to that forward movement and focus. Put your blinders on.
Speaking of burning things, this is so crazy. So I burned my intentions before we started yoga with Elika, and everything burned except for this one singular piece, and it's blank. Talk about letting it go.
That's
like, here's
awesome.
the piece, here's the blank slate. I don't want to hear any BS about it.
They're like, we'll leave you that little piece, that little clue, I love that. And that's funny. If you like people are like, oh, give me a sign. There are signs everywhere. There are things, you just have to be willing to look for these little pieces of life, and they're there for sure. I love that. All right, ladies, it's 9:02. Perfect practice. We got in oracle cards, we got in journaling, we got intention setting, we got meditation, yoga, energy. Oh, that was beautiful. I really appreciate you guys very much for coming. Thank you, Elika and Kristen, for partnering with me every time. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys just take that energy into March. Monday. Oh, crazy. Thank you, ladies. I hope you have a fabulous day. Okay. Bye. I know I need to blow out my candles.